Hi everyone, it's Oliver, otherwise known as the OJ Slay MUA on Instagram, and welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm so excited to be starting this channel with all this time that we've been given due to quarantine. I want to direct it towards something creative, and so I want to get this YouTube channel up and running. So the first video is going to be a quarantine/Zoom get ready with me. I'm just going to be doing the makeup that I do when I'm feeling pretty extra in the morning. Maybe I have a few Zooms that day and I just want to look a little glowy. I'm super excited, so here we go. Okay, step one to any makeup routine should always be a skincare routine. I think I'm going to do a video on my skincare routine a little bit later on, but main thing is to moisturize. Always moisturize before you put makeup on. My favorite is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, and also people always neglect their lips. So I'm gonna put some lip balm on. What I'm using today is the Chapstick Total Hydration. Okay, so now that we're nice and dewy and our skin is feeling well hydrated, it's time to prime. So I'm gonna be using these two today. This one is the Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. This is a Benefit Professional Hydrating Primer. So I'm just gonna put some of this Professional. I take like a tiny bit on my finger and then I dab it and I just put it right here. I just like to spread it around right here gently before I put on the Laura Mercier primer, just to fill in these pores a little bit and help the skin look a little smoother. And then I take this Laura Mercier primer, I take a bit more of this. I spread it in my hands and I make sure to get my cheekbones and my forehead the most, because this is where I want my highlight to pop the most, and then I spread it around the rest of the face. Okay, now that we're primed, I'm gonna go in with my base, my foundation. And today I'm gonna be using the Milk Skin Tint. This is the shade, I think Sand. Yeah, Sand. This is just a super light coverage foundation/skin tint. It has SPF 30, which is really good if you're going outside, if you even want to go outside during quarantine. But I don't really use this for coverage, I more use it for the nice finish that it provides. So let's get going. So I really like this one because it's like a fun applicator. You click it and it starts coming out and then it's a roller ball. So I just put it all over my face. And then I blend it in with a brush. So now that I have it all over my face, I'm gonna take this brush. This is just from Olimar Cosmetics, but I just buff it in. Okay, so now that that is all blended in, I'm gonna go in with concealer. So I'm taking the NARS Natural Radiant and the Beauty Blender Bounce Concealer. This one's a little lighter than this one, so I'm gonna start with the darker shade. So I like to put this one a little bit below my under eye. Then I take a tiny bit of this lighter concealer right under my eye. Then I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender and just bounce over it. And get some on your eyelid, just to help prime for a little bit of eyeshadow later. And then this is what it looks like. So not that much coverage. You can kind of still see like my natural under eye pigmentation right there, but this is just like super quick, makes you look a little more awake. Alright, so now that I have both of those blended out, I'm going to be doing some cream bronzing and blushing. So this is the Chanel Cream Bronzer, and this is the Honest Beauty Cream Blush. So for the bronzer, I like to take a like pretty dense foundation brush. This is a Y6 from Morphe. I just go in there like this, really get some product on the brush, and then turn to the side, and I get it in the hollow of my cheek. This isn't super dark, it's just like a really light bronze. Get some more, get the corners of your forehead, right up here. And really anywhere that you like to bronze, it's totally up to you. And then once I get a rough shape for that, I take another pretty dense foundation brush and go into the blush. Now this looks super pigmented at first and then it blends out. So I go right where I would normally put blush, see how, ooh. And then I just start blending. So I get that nice pink. I actually like to take it a little bit closer to my eye, so it like helps the eyeshadow blend in later on. Now I'm just gonna go back with the butt side of my Beauty Blender and bounce over both of those. Okay, so now that I have both of those things done, I'm gonna set my face. So first I'll set my under eyes with this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder. So I just take like a little fluffy under eye brush. I tap a little and then I like to tap off the excess because I don't want it to look super matte. So I just bounce really lightly under my eyes. Just to make sure that I don't get any creasing later on in the day. I take a bigger fluffy brush. I'm going in with the Hourglass loose powder, and this is like one of their face palettes, and I like to take the Ambient Powders, these three. I just throw my brush across all of them, and then I get a little bit of the setting powder on my brush. So I have like this concoction, tap a little off, and then just lightly bounce over the rest of the face. Okay, so for brows today, I'm not going to be doing that much filling. I'm just taking this Patrick Ta brow wax. This stuff is really cool. You kind of take any setting spray you have. Right now I'm using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Mist, and you just spray it in to get it wet. And then you take a spoolie. Where's my spoolie? Okay, I'm going to be using this one, and just rub it in there to kind of mix them together. And then you take the spoolie and just go directly into your brow. For the eyes, I'm going to be going in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. So first I'm going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe JS5. And I'm going to be going in with the shade Love Handles, which is right there. I like to just start putting this in my crease really lightly. This isn't going to be a super detailed look, so you don't really need an eyeshadow primer for it. But I just like to do windshield wiper and circular motions. And then I like to blend it a little bit towards the temple. So now that I've blended that out, I'm going to be using another brush in another shade. This is the M441 from Morphe. I'm going to be taking this shade in the corner, right there. And then I'm going to blend this just a little bit lower than the other one, mainly just out here in the outer corner. And as you can see, it's also adding a tiny bit more definition. These don't need to be like super beautiful blends, super detailed, just kind of quick. I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is the M506, and I'm gonna go into the first shade we use, Love Handles, and just run it on the under eye. I'm gonna be going in with a little bit of eyeliner. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk liner, and I'm really just gonna focus this on the outer corner of my waterline. I kind of come right into the very, very outer V of my eye and just drag it out a tiny bit. And then I'm going to be taking this shade called Ride or Diamonds right here. I'm going to be taking it on my pinky. And then just go on the lid. Okay, now that I applied it, I'm going to take a blending brush. This is the first brush that I used for our transition shade, and just blend around it so that there's no harsh lines. So that's basically all the eye makeup I'm going to do. I'm going to go do the other side, and then I'll be right back to finish up the face. Okay, so I just did the other eye off camera. Now I'm going to finish up the face. So I'm going to use a powder bronzer. Whatever bronzer you have works, and like a bronzing brush. This is just a Marc Jacobs Fantastic. And just go everywhere we put that cream bronzer, just go over it really quick. Okay, so once you've bronzed, let's go in with a little bit of blush. So I'm going to be using the Milani Luminoso blush and just a angled blush brush. Like the bronzer, you just go over wherever you put the blush before. Okay, so now that I've done my blush and my bronzer, I go back in, but specifically with this one in the corner, because this one's super shimmery. It's more shimmery than the other two. On that big puffy brush, and just go over that part of the face. This is kind of just like a base highlighter. Today I'm going to be taking this Pixie highlight, and mine's pretty broken, and a highlight brush. This is a Morphe M501. So I like to take it on my cheekbone, and then under the brow, and then on the forehead. Right at the head of the front of the brow too, like in between them. A tiny bit on the nose. So now, lashes, I'm just going to use a lash curler. Any lash curler will do. And then I'm going to be going in with whatever mascara you have on hand. The current one that I have on hand is the KVD Go Big or Go Home in Trooper Black. Stay hydrated, it's important. Okay, and now that my mascara is on, I'm going to take a little bit of lip gloss. And this is just Fenty, the original shade. It's just like a rose gold shimmery gloss. I've actually done this while I was on a Zoom call with my history class. Oops. But my teacher was totally fine with it. Like, every time she asked a question, I would have a blending brush in my hand. I'd be like, I'll answer. And while I was answering, I was literally blending this eyeshadow. Okay, and to finish it all off, I'm gonna take that Watermelon Glow spray that we used for the brow wax and just spray all over the face. I love this stuff because of how fine the mister is. Ooh. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. This is the final look, a little Quarantina moment, ready for that Zoom call. So it's super easy, anyone can do it. You can do it with whatever products you have. Maybe if you like more matte skin, go for it. I just really like this. I'm living for the dewy skin right now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like. I would really love to grow this YouTube channel into like a real thing. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna try to be consistent and post some videos maybe twice a week, once a week. I'm really gonna try, push myself, learn how to edit videos. I hope you guys are hanging in there in this quarantine. Hopefully this distracted you for a few minutes and you had some fun. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.